Good morning. It's 6:10 and I'm back marathon training. Time for the long run. So I know I used to moan before about having to train in the summer, but I mean, when you get up and the car is iced up like this and there's frost all over the ground, it's not the most appealing of conditions either, but I can't win, can I? So let's get on and get this run done. Oh, it's very pretty here. You can see all the sparkles from the frost coming off my head torch. Lovely, isn't it? I would say, honestly, this is... can't really see the effect anymore. I do prefer this to running in the summer. You may think I'm weird, but summer running is just... it's too hot. At least this. The motivation to get up and get out the door is harder, but once you're out and you've done about a mile or so, it's actually alright. Which is where I am currently. So, let's have a look at my lovely face, shall we? It's me from the future. So while I've been editing this video, I've realised that the picture quality is pretty much horrendous for most of the night running, for most of the time that I'm running in the dark. I'm really sorry about this. In hindsight, I should have switched my head torch off while I was filming myself. So, you know, that's a mental note for future. Unfortunately, with these things where I don't get time to sort of stop and film myself 3 or 4 times or whatever to try and get the take exactly right, I kind of just have to roll with what I've got. So, sorry, you're not going to see a lot. The audio's okay, and I thought about cutting it out, but then to be honest, you wouldn't really have much of a video. So, I'm sorry. I've learned from it, and hopefully the next one will be better. Cheers. Right, so we're 2 miles in. Let's give you an update on how I'm doing. So first of all, if you're one of the new subscribers that I picked up since October, since my last video, welcome, thank you. I'm now over 100 subscribers, woohoo! That was a milestone I struggled with for a while. I don't know, I just found I'd get to 98 and then a couple of people would maybe unsub, and I was just stuck like that for ages. Then I didn't do any videos for 3 months. I came back and I was at 103. Woohoo! Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're an old long-time subscriber, welcome back. So what's going on? Well, as you probably guessed in the title, my training for London Marathon has begun. Now that's not the virtual, it's the real deal. The Abbott World Major London Marathon in London on the 23rd of April. So for the next 14 weeks I will be recording my weekly training and hopefully the race as well. So, just going up a hill, stop for a second. I didn't go off to the best start in terms of making the videos because I didn't record my first week. I just wanted to make sure I was fit enough to actually do it, which I kind of was. So, what's been going on with me? Well, those of you who've been subscribed a while will know that in October I was supposed to run Chelmsford Marathon, and I got all the way up to my peak week of training, did my longest run of 22 miles, came home, got in the bath, got out the bath, went to go downstairs, put my left foot on the stairs, I felt something go ow, and long story short, I'd injured my calf and I made the decision to not do the race. I saw a physio and she said the problem was I wasn't engaging my glutes enough when I run. Something I'm working on now. And she gave me some glute strength exercises, and she said there was no reason really why I couldn't run it. But anyway, so about 3 or 4 days before the race, I went out for a test run, and it just wasn't happening. I was limping to accommodate the injury. Where these bloody cars suddenly come from? There were no cars a minute ago, and all of a sudden, all across the road, and there's about 7 cars in a row. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Alright. So as I was saying, I was limping, I went out for a test run. I was limping to accommodate the injury quite noticeably, and even about a mile and a half into the run, my hip started to hurt where I was limping and not running like I normally do, and I just stopped, walked home, and realised that if I did carry on like that, I would give myself a serious problem. So that was it. So then I rested it for a few weeks, went out for a small run, let's set it off again. I rested up until December. I went out for a few runs. It was okay. It was still there in the background, a bit of a niggle I would say, but it was alright. Then in December we had a load of ice for a week, so I didn't run for over a week on that. I did a little bit on my exercise bike, but not a lot. And then I trained right up until Christmas Eve, then had a week off over Christmas, not really intentionally, but the thing with Christmas puts me out of my routine. And then shortly after Christmas I got really quite ill. Not like seriously ill, but I had this horrible cold thing. It wasn't COVID as far as I'm aware. I did test myself, and that took me a good 10 days to shift. I was in no condition to do any running at that time. It was a struggle just to get through the day. My wife was ill as well, so 2 young kids who were still off school. That was a lot of fun. So I finally got back into it last week, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not in the best shape at all. Since October I put on probably about a stone in weight. That's like 14 pounds or about 4 kilos I think. It's difficult with weight, isn't it, because so many people use different measurements. So that doesn't help, and the running is just harder in general. According to my Garmin, my VO2 max has gone from 47 to 42, and not that I take much stock in that really, but again it's just an indication. My VO2 max has not been that low in a long time, but I know with VO2 max, if you put weight on, it does affect it as well, in a negative sense. So that's where we are. So it is disappointing. I feel like last year had quite a few goals, and after I'd done that marathon I was gonna work on my 5k time, and as a result, so yeah, one of my biggest goals last year was to get my half marathon time under 2 hours, which I did quite early on. I did that in March, and I then beat that personal best again in August, I think it was, when I was in the middle of training for a marathon. I just did a half marathon and just went out, saw what happened. Obviously I didn't taper for it, and yeah, it's about a 30-second PB. So not massive, but well, not even that, 19 seconds I think, but still good. And I then wanted to get my marathon PB under 5 hours, and it was looking good, promising. The training was good. Unfortunately got injured and that didn't happen. And then I wanted to get my 5k time. My PB is currently 24:52. That's not official, that's, I've not done any 5k races, that's just running around the loop I do. But again, that didn't happen unfortunately. So yeah, feels like it was a very disappointing end to the year. You know, when you're marathon training, it's a big commitment, you know, it's 15 weeks and you kind of can't really do much else in between that, and yeah, you've got to purely focus on the marathon. The fact that from July onwards I really didn't do anything goal wise, but I've kind of looked at that now and thought to myself, actually, you know, running goals in terms of time are not the be all and end all. You know, and yeah, it's nice to get PBs and improve. It's also nice just to be out here, and London for me is a very big race, you know. It's one of the Abbott World Majors, and my main goal for that race is to get to the start line first of all and enjoy myself, you know. So that's where I am right now. I still want to get under 5 hours, and my training pace, I'm training as if I'm going for a sub 4:30 or for a 4:30. Again, that's just to give me some idea of what pace I should be training at. I'm not going to push myself on the day to get there unless I'm feeling really good. In terms of the injury itself, it's not completely gone away. It is still there, very slightly in the background. I would say it's more of a niggle or awkward feeling. It feels a bit tight when I'm running, so just having to be really vigilant, you know, taking it easy on my long runs, and stretching it out every single night. Before I go to bed, I'm stretching my calves and I'm doing my quad building exercises. Not quad, glutes. Do my glute exercises a couple of times a week at least, and making sure I don't miss off any strength sessions, because they are super important. Really, going to a marathon training block, you want to be feeling fit and free from any little niggles and things, and that's not the case unfortunately. But you know, life isn't perfect, and this is a charity place I need to raise £1,600. I've raised 500 already, so in terms of deferring a charity place, I don't think that's an option. So I don't want all that money. Yeah, I've raised all that money already. Don't want to then not do the race, so I guess I can walk it if I have to, but I'm getting to that start line. But yeah, that's life, that's running for you. It can't always be a linear progress, and you know, it's hard because I watch quite a few other people on YouTube, and quite a few of them are absolutely smashing it right now. They're getting, oh wow, I've got to start marathon pace miles now. They've got, you know, they're getting PB after PB after PB, really setting really, you know, big goals for this year, and I'm not. And it's hard, but you know what? What else am I going to do? Just give up? No. So, I hope any of you coming back from injury or starting out this year, you know, it's not always smiles and sunshine, but we can do this. But I need to speed up now, so I'll check back in later. See ya. And I'm back. Just over 2 miles to go now, all of them easy. The marathon pace miles were a challenge. The third mile was very slightly too slow, by about 6 or 7 seconds. The others were just within the 10:10 to 10:30 bracket. I mean, that's not far off what my easy pace used to be. Just a bit worrying, but again, said can't sweat it, can't change it, just need to get on with it. Yeah. In terms of the calf, it's starting to feel a little bit tight now. But ironically, I find it actually feels better when I'm doing faster. When I'm going faster a lot of the time. I guess it's because your cadence is more efficient when you're faster. I don't know. I'm not worrying too much about the pace on my easy miles. It's supposed to be 10, 15, 12 minutes. That was just beeped for the 8th mile, and that was just over 12 minutes, but like I said, not that fast. These training zones are just a guide at the moment, and the main thing is to get the distance done. As I said, this is very much a back to fitness journey more than anything else, and I'm not looking to get a super quick time, although my previous marathon PB, it was virtually done. I did a virtual London marathon in 2021, and that was 5 minutes 22, 5 hours 22 minutes, and I really think I could definitely beat that. Like I said, under 5 is my goal really, but I'm not going to kill myself to do it either. Right, let's bag these last 2 miles, and I might catch up with you afterwards. So let's see how it all went. Cheers. So that's the run done. So how did it go? Well, yeah, really well. I'm really happy with it actually. When I first started marathon training a couple of weeks ago, I was concerned going back into 8-10 mile runs fairly quickly after not having run. I mean, that's the first time I've run 10 miles since September probably. I was a bit worried about it, but to be fair, I was doing quite a lot of distance a lot, and I feel my body's seems to be getting a bit more used to it. Aerobically, I'm not as quick as I was, but it wasn't horrendous, and I wasn't thinking, oh my god, I can't possibly do 10 miles. It was reasonably comfortable. The marathon pace miles were pretty good, so let me just check on Garmin to see what I did. So the target pace was between 10:10 and 10:30 minute mile pace. So the first one was 10:28, the second was 10:29, third was 10:39, so that was just 9 seconds out, and then the 7th was 10:29 again. So actually three of those miles were in 1 second of each other in terms of pace, so that's really quite impressive. Like I said, the easy miles, not too fussed about them. They were all not too fast, basically. That's the main thing to take away from that, which is what I'm going for. Like I said, I'm not going for a specific time. Particularly, I just want to finish the race, or more importantly, get to the start. So that's it. So I'll just do a quick recap, because obviously this video technically should be covering 2 weeks. It's covering 2 weeks worth of training. Unfortunately, I didn't do any filming the first week. So I just want to run what I've done so far. It's a 15-week plan. It is the Ben Parks Level 2 Marathon Plan, which you could download from benparks.com. I'm in no way affiliated with him or anything. I just find the layout of his plans. I really like the look of them, and they're quite easy to customize. So that's what I went for. So the first week then, last week, that was 4 miles. It was supposed to be, 4 miles easy, then a tempo run of 4 miles, which was 1 mile easy, 2 at tempo pace, and then 1 at easy, and then an 8 mile easy run. No issues with that really. This week then, Monday I did a 4 mile easy run, nice and straightforward. Then on Tuesday I did a progression run, so that was 1 mile at easy, 1 mile marathon pace, 1 mile at tempo pace, then 1 mile easy again. The tempo pace was interesting, but yeah, no, it was okay. And then today was 10 mile long run, as I said earlier, 3 miles easy, 4 at marathon pace, and then 3 easy to finish off. Like I said, it wasn't horrendous. Yeah, so I'm feeling all right at the moment. I feel like the fact that I've still got this slight niggle in my leg, not necessarily a bad thing, because it means I'm very conscious of it and I'm taking care of myself. I'm stretching after every run. I'm also stretching every night before I go to bed, giving it a little bit of a massage every now and then, making sure I absolutely don't skip my strength training, doing the glute strengthening exercises as well on top of that. So I just hope, by taking it easy, attacking it from all angles, it should be okay. It's not got any worse since I've started running. I don't really feel it, maybe slightly the next day, but then after that it's gone, after a long run or a particularly hard workout. But I tend to have a rest day after those anyway. And yeah, I'm quite confident, touch wood, that I'm fairly confident that it's going to be all right. I just need to keep an eye on it. I may go see the physio in a few weeks' time, maybe just for a bit of a checkup, just make sure I'm doing the exercises correctly, if there's anything else you can recommend. But for now, yeah, I'm happy. I'm really glad to be back running, really happy to be going for this event. As I mentioned earlier, I am raising money for charity. It's a charity place, so I need to raise £1,600. I'm currently at £500 already, which is really good. But obviously, I've still got quite a lot to do. So if any of you are watching, I don't normally ask for a lot. I'm not one of these ones that constantly ask people to like and subscribe and leave a comment or whatever, unless I feel it's naturally organic as part of the video. But if you would like to sponsor now, I completely understand. Money's tight at the moment for a lot of people, myself included, really. So anything you do, I think, even £1. If all my subscribers donated £1, that would be £100. In total off the fundraising target. So I will leave a link in the description, as I said, to my JustGiving page. If you would like to donate, any amount you can give would be absolutely massively appreciated. But yeah, it's good. Really good to be back running again. Good to be actually getting back on the YouTube videos as well. A bit of a double-edged sword. I do enjoy doing them, but it does take a little bit of time and effort. And my main focus always does have to be the run. So I will sacrifice, as you've probably seen today, perhaps video footage or quality over the quality of the run, because unfortunately I don't have time to do both at the moment, but I will see. Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully you'll catch me next week. Cheers everyone.